Hello, and welcome to Radio Waves by Todderbert. If you enjoy reviews, comparisons, band scans of new and classic portable radios, plus do-it-yourself kits, then please subscribe and tap the bell icon so you don't miss any future videos. Today for review I have the Tecsun 2P3 radio kit. I purchased this kit I think for around $25 off eBay back in November. You can buy this particular kit on Amazon for a total of $28 still. So it's a really neat AM radio kit you can assemble yourself. Let's go over it. It comes in a brown box. Picture of a child there soldering it. Hopefully supervised. I don't know what's going on back there. What is that? Okay, so Tecsun 2P3. So it's cool. It's based on a classic design. A kit that was available way back in the day, and they decided to reissue it. There we go. Information. Okay, and maybe I did buy this off Amazon. That's what it looks like. Okay. Alright, so on the back, it kind of goes over, you can pause and read if you'd like. It was do-it-yourself, was made to fulfill this huge demand. I guess people love to build them, that's great. There you go, some more. Pretty awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and open up the box and see what's inside. I'm excited about this kit. It's been sitting here for a while. Just haven't had time to sit and start building it, so I think I'm going to get busy with it and work on this. So here we go. Here's our instruction manual and all the parts. So we'll go to the parts in a second. This instruction manual looks pretty detailed. It's full color. That's really neat. Here's a picture of the final product after it's built. More of that same deal we read in the box. And I don't know if I'm going to get this all in frame. This is kind of a huge printout here, but here's the full schematic. Let's see here. Hang on one second. I'm going to bring up this camera here as high as I can. Okay. Open this back up. There we go. So that's cool. It's got the full schematic and how everything interacts with each other. Very cool. Talk about different resistors or values. And then there's all the instructions to build it. And this huge fold out frame here. So you got your parts list, it looks like there. Cool. So you'll have no problem because it's all right there for you. Another part, I think this is the audio amplifier circuit. I guess I carried over from the schematic. Okay, so it did carry over. This thing's gigantic. If you guys can see this here, we got the board showing the placement of the parts. There you go. And then there's, oh boy, there's a lot here. Let's go to the side, and it talks about the range, what you can expect. Going over the working principles of the radio. That's cool. So I can learn how an AM radio works. In and out. So let's see, how's this thing open up? This gets even bigger. Alright, so these are your directions. We're just gonna, you just get an idea. It's very clear and concise how to assemble everything. Going into detail, how to read your capacitors, explaining what parts are. There's a resistor chart, how to ID your resistors. Let's see, I go over assembly instructions, how to solder. Transistors and how to read them. So yeah, this thing is just fantastic. So there we go. There's some more information talking about oscillator coils. I have transformers. Cool. This will be a good learning experience. I'm looking forward to building this. And some common electric components. There you go. So it gives us an idea of what to expect when you get this kit. So huge instruction sheet. That's gigantic. So I'm gonna move that out of the way. Alright, here's the box of the stuff. The box. So inside the box, she has like a little finished mini box. So when you're done with your radio, homebrew, you can put a name on there. I don't know about site, I guess where I made it and the date I made it. And I can open this up and put the radio in. and I could sell it on eBay. I'm just joking. No, I'd keep it. It's cool though. Kind of neat finishing touch. I like that. All right, let's get rid of this box finally. And the parts. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and just open this up. Okay, maybe it's not as easy as it looks. Some tape on there. It's all taped down. There we go. All right, so it looks like, we'll go close here. We have our ferrite bar, which is fairly large, actually. I want to measure that. Why not? Let's see where we are for length. Let's see, that measures about 4 inches. Pretty cool. Similar to the PCB for size. Pop this board out of here. There we go. So I'm going to do a close-up on the board. Looks like it's really nicely made. It's a thick style. There's the, whoops, upside down. There's where all the components go. So get some light on this. There we go. It's like where batteries are going to sit. This looks like this comes off. So yeah, it's like going to be a fun little project. Looking forward to building this. And we got the tuning knob, volume knobs, it looks like. The battery. This looks like the IF tuner. You don't want to use metal, you want to use plastic. There's little cans right there. Color coded. Cool. Yeah, I'm excited about this. This will be a lot of fun. It's like an IC right there. So we got a parts package. We get some capacitors. I think it's all capacitors there. And we get some resistor set and transistors, diodes. Yeah. That's that. And then this is in plastic. This is the enclosure. And the final product will go inside here. That's pretty awesome. And I'm guessing the speaker's in here because it feels kind of like it has some weight to it. So yeah, it looks like this just would just pop open. There we go. Holy crap. Didn't expect that to come out. Okay, so that must, yeah, be screwed into there. There's the speaker. And I guess everything will assemble here. So that is the parts layout here. And I'm going to stop the video and start working on this. Yeah. And then when I come back, I'm going to have pictures of the build process. Okay, be right back. Hello, and I'm back. Here are pictures of the build process. This first picture, I built up the audio amplifier circuit. If you notice, it's electrolytic capacitors and an IC chip. Pay close attention when installing the IC chip, as you could easily put it in backwards. The second picture, I populated the detector and mixing circuits. If you notice, there's little diodes there. This third picture, I finished populating all the small components. We now have 3 transistors on the board of various small capacitors and resistors. Fourth picture, I added the oscillator coil and IF transformers and audio jack. This fifth picture, I installed the ferrite antenna, tuning capacitor, and battery box. They went in pretty easily. The antenna, take your time. I actually used a little pair of tweezers to grab on those little wires to put them through the hole to solder them. A little tricky, but it worked out good. Sixth picture, you'll notice I have soldered the battery leads and the speaker leads on the PCB, and I added the volume potentiometer. Now that's a little tricky. It's a daughter board you have to snap off, and it goes in on a perpendicular direction, and then you have to solder it in that direction, and if you solder it wrong, it won't line up nicely in the case. I found out that when I pre-tested before I soldered it, it was as far back as it could go, so it turned out okay. I'm pretty happy with the result. This next picture, I checked the bias current and then attached the speaker. And if you notice this blue-black braided wire, it's from a computer that I tore down a long time ago. And this works out really well because I could use a really long wire. The one they give you with the kit is about a 3-inch wire, 4-inch wire, not long enough to pull the PCB out nicely. So I wanted to use a longer wire, and there's plenty of room in the cabinet for this length of wire. It worked out really nice. I'm happy with the result. In this final picture here, I did quite a few things. Let's go over them. I adjusted the black and yellow IF transformers for proper calibration. They say that they're calibrated from the factory, but once you install them on a circuit, they could change and fluctuate. When I was adjusting them, I didn't have to adjust it much, barely at all. So it was good to do a check on that. Next, they tell you to do a dial calibration. My dial definitely needed to be calibrated. And I learned how to do that by using the oscillator coil. That was pretty neat. I never knew how to tune a dial before, and that was a fun experience. So you use the oscillator coil on the low end of the band, and you use the tuning capacitor for the high end. And I only had to dial in the low end, and the high was fine, so it worked out perfect. So the alignment was great. I took the L1 and L2 coils on the ferrite antenna and moved them back and forth to hear stations coming in loud and clear on the bottom and top of the band. And then once I got that loudness on both parts of the band, I then fixed the position of the L1, L2 coils on the ferrite bar with a white wax. And you can see it there in the picture. And now in front of you is the finished product. Yay! Applause! My first AM radio built. And I'm really happy with the result. What a cool little radio. It's a Tecsun, yay, 2P3. I had this kit since November, and it was in all my little videos, my welcoming videos, and I just never got around to building it, but now it's done, and I'm really happy. What a cool build. So let's go over dimensions first. I'm sure you're going to want to know. It's just like a normal video. 4 3/8 of an inch wide, 2 7/8 of an inch high, and a depth of 1.5 inches. All right, so we have some features. We have a headphone jack, which is both ears, mono. It has low-level hiss, which is kind of distracting, but it's still listenable. Here we have a big speaker, 2.5 inches, and the tonal quality is really nice. Here we got an emblem. Looks like a little rifle and some kind of writing. There was 2 sides to it. There was one with like a rising sun, and then there was the rifle. I like the rifle. Look cool. Over here you can see the tuning window. Pretty basic, simple. The model number 2P3, and then the off and volume control wheel there in the front. And you can see it's got this wedge-shaped. It's neat. The speaker's held in by 4 screws. They made it really easy to service. This piece here was a plate you had to hot glue down. I was kind of upset by that. I wish they had a way to screw that in, but I had to glue this down. So, all right, right-hand side here we have the tuning wheel, and I had to play around to get this to smooth up. It was really tight, and I was wondering what was going on, and there was a clearance issue with the wheel sits on top of another block that sits on top of the tuner. So that intermediate block, I had to sand it down so it fit better. Now I can turn it a lot easier. So real happy with that result. All right, back of the radio. Tecsun, made in China, and a vented case. And since we have this here, let's go ahead and open it up. You guys can see inside. And I know you saw some of the pictures, which is great, but seeing it live is even better. So take this part, one screw out here, hold it all together to get to our batteries and everything. Yeah, it's quite the long screw. Pull this off here. Okay, it's a little bit of a tight fit because of this battery box here. So there we go. There's the fun. Let's see if I can get some light on this here. Get a little bit better here. Okay, so there's your, this is really cool. This is a 4-inch bar. Just amazing. So you can see the wax I used. I used a fatter blade soldering iron and just took a candle, the bottom of a candle, and just melted and let the wax drop right onto the piece. Worked out really well. Dropped it here, and then on the end here, I sealed it. So yeah, you really had to move these around to get a really clear signal. This one here was over here, and I had to move it all the way to the end to get the loudest signal. And this one, this L2, was closer this way, and this one had to be moved about, I'd say, 1/4 inch, 3/8 of an inch. So you get an idea. And there's your different, your oscillator coil and your IF transformers for adjusting. This was really neat to adjust for the dial calibration. Kind of neat to learn how that works. You know, good learning radio. I love it. There you can see a close-up of all the circuits. This is kind of cool. This little can's protecting a detector circuit, and there's the detector diode and some capacitors. Kind of neat. Our battery box. There's the amplifier circuit up close and personal, and my speaker wires running through. And then you get the headphone jack. So yeah, I was pretty happy with the result. Oh, and there's your daughter board. So that was the fun one, putting this piece in. getting that to align in. You can tell my connections are all the way flush, and that is about as center as I got it, because that's as far as travel I could go. So, but yeah, I'm really happy with the result. So let's see if I can put this back together and we can turn it on and see what it sounds like. I'm sure that's what you want to hear. Okay, so this is a little tricky. You gotta, because this battery compartment's really tight against there when I get the batteries in. There we go. So yeah, so if you guys are looking to buy one of these kits, I believe Amazon sells them. I'll put the link in. I think they're like $27. And it's it's right here in the States, so you'll get your radio real fast, especially if you have Prime. And this is a great kit to put together. I mean, they got those $4 kits you can buy from China, and those are just junk compared to this thing. This is just well built. The manual is really important. Everything looks really good with it. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you one other thing. I use this here. It's monster of a meter to read the current flow of the circuit. You have to measure 3 of them to make sure they're within range, and they were solid. And to be honest with you, I don't even know if you have to do it. If you're doing proper soldering techniques, I don't think you'll have to worry about testing it, but they do tell you to test the 3 points. It is a cool little voltmeter I picked up from Radio Shack when they were going out of business in my town. I got it for like $15. I think it was like $60 or something like that, or 70. I forgot how much this was. And it had all these like sale upon sale upon sale. And if you came back the next day, you got like free money to spend if you spent so much. So yeah, it was pretty cool. So I got a nice little tester. I usually use like a really cheapy one. This is my older one, my older Radio Shack. You guys probably remember this one. I've been using this one since I was like, I don't know how young. Maybe I was like a teenager when I got this. So yeah, that one still works. But yeah, that's what you need. And then they do give you extra resistors. And I was trying to figure out what these were for, and these are for in case your testing is wrong and you find out the current draw is wrong. They tell you to add capacitors, and I guess this is the extra values you need if you have to increase the resistance. So good to know they gave that to you. And real quick before we start the radio, this is the little tool they give you to adjust the IF coils and oscillator coil. So the IF transformer and oscillator coil. You never want to use metal. You want to use non-conductive plastic. There we go. All right. So let's fire this radio up here and listen to some tunes. Yeah. Well, talk radio pretty much. The bottom of the band. Now my dial is pretty close to being dead on. Ah, noise. Excuse me, that's my transformer. Sensitive radio.
In some of the anti-war demonstrations. But by the time the war ended in 1975, and it became clear that there was a genocide going on in Cambodia.
A lot of the communities, because of tax evasion in Italy, they get a lot of the
WSM worldwide, WSFonline.com. Like that line, that song about indigestion, 5 years old today. That's Little Jimmy Dickens tonight, song written by Zeke Clemens that Jimmy got a lot of mileage out of. On Me and My Big Loud Mouth, one of the great novelty offerings. It was only a part of what Mr. Dickens could do. He was one of the greatest interpreters.
So it's WSM 650. Beautiful. My radio works. Yay! Feels so good. I love this thing.
Pharmacy, where it's easy to find everything you need.
Local 670.
This week only. Fill their baskets with Cadbury mini eggs.
You're 20 minutes from downtown. Call me for details about phase 1 and 2. Remember the name.
I think this is 700.
That's Cubic with a K. Or for any of your real estate needs, call me at 450-6
687 4430. Let's face it, we
Oh,
take
690.
our hands for granted every day. The
Cool.
truth is, in order to maintain a quality lifestyle,
690.
it's important to keep
Let
your
me.
hands in good health. Hi,
Got stuff
I'm Dr.
everywhere.
Daniel Durant at Montreal
690.
Handsurgery.com.
Montreal.
If you're
There you go.
having trouble with your hands, such as carpal tunnel
TSN.
syndrome, Dupuytren's disease,
763 miles.
or any other issue, I can help you regain your quality
This is
of
awesome.
life. Using minimally invasive techniques, patients leave our clinic with their problem solved and
Boom to the water supply and the reservoirs that had not been at those levels in quite some time. The majority
This is
of the
WLW
reservoirs in
Cincinnati, 300
California
miles.
right now are at Hawks play at the United Center for free. But wait, there's more.
720 WGN.
Can you even hear me in there? But wait, whoa, there's more.
This is a 740 Zoomer. It sounds so good on this radio. I love it. CFZM, Toronto, Ontario, 460 miles. And yeah, this just sounds good. This is a great little kit radio. I'm happy. Heck yeah.
or visit painfreelifeceners.com.
I think it's Detroit.
Attention all male and female catheter users. This is an urgent medical update for urinary catheter users. Reduce your risk of infection now and receive up to 200 catheters per month.
Great
We have
commercial.
important medical information if you are reusing urinary catheters.
I hope you don't have to use those, guys.
This could affect you.
Million standing desk breaks. Well, you'd probably be in great shape. Visit GoToMeeting.com.
So this is 780 WBBM, Chicago.
Trust us to help them get work done.
Save up to 50%. Employees say they don't have this at work. Half of employees say they don't have this at work. Okay, did you watch Stormy Daniels on 60 Minutes?
I have to watch this afternoon when I go home.
Okay. Always got that odd sound. 830 WCCO Minneapolis, 310 miles.
The only reason next on the list is being the next
This
place
would be
will war,
WHAS.
at least in, with troops on the ground.
Absolutely, but I think it's important.
So Louisville, Kentucky, about 300 miles.
Especially after Iraq.
Water-resistant laminate is up to 36% off. Pre-finished hardwood up to 33% off. More from 39 cents while supplies last. And take an extra 15% off clearance in store. Plus special financing. Get to Lumber Liquidators end of quarter clearance sale today. Visit lumberliquidators.com to find a Denver store near you. Because you can't depend on the weather. Colorado depends on KOA News Radio. Your severe weather station.
KOA Denver, sweet. Love it, man. This is just great. Denver, 890 miles. I love this radio. Yay!
Oui, il y a le sujet de l'infertilité dans le livre, mais c'est aussi un peu un hommage aux couples différents.
Oui, moi je le vois surtout comme ça, tu sais, la fertilité, pour moi, c'est le livre, c'est un peu
860 Toronto, CJBC,
l'histoire,
460 miles.
Mais moi, ce que
Sounds
j'ai aimé,
good.
quand India m'a dit qu'elle voulait écrire ça, ce que j'aimais, c'est les deux
It's gonna be a long video, but you know what? Let's have fun.
31 right now in White Plains, and in Central Park we have fair conditions. 38 degrees. Winds are out of the southeast at 6 miles an hour. It feels more like
WCBS.
33. WCBS News Time 12:20. Dozens of Connecticut homeowners
So that makes it 11:20 here.
in Hartford to rally.
New York City is 750 miles away from me. Yay!
Part of the collapse
I don't know if I'll get WLW.
to decay, or use of construction material.
Years, and I've never really publicized
Let's see if this is
it. I have my
WLW,
website
or,
so that people who are clients
New Orleans. Hang on,
will
let's see.
really kind of keep in contact with me, but I never really put it out there.
Oh wow, this is great. So I just dialed it back a little bit and found WWL 870 New Orleans. This is 865 miles.
Energy to just put it out.
Yay.
Grew up in this town. I was a cop in this town for almost a decade.
Now the rest of the dials pain because it goes to 11 to 16 like really fast, so it's not as fun. But getting those basic stations down below is great for me. But yeah, there's some of the stations are pretty hard to get when we get past this marker.
Like 877-99 on Fox. We like to take these stories and we like to push them forward. Fox Sports Radio. Woo! Sports with attitude. Play on! Saturday. Baseball is back on FS1. First, the Ranger World Series champions Houston Astros take on the Rangers. And the Brewers and Padres battle.
See where we're at.
All games on Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern on FS1. Fox Sports Radio it is. The Jason Spencer with the fans.
980.
Live from the Geico studio. I'm glad it's something you only hear. It's really unbelievable the amount.
Back to Jimbo had a show at 86650-JIMBO. So the charges are out there, the counter charges.
Could really use this great pillow to help me get a little more sleep. Well, Iris, that story wouldn't have gotten out. It's crazy to me. All right, hey, Jim,
It sounds
thank
like
you very much for your
1100.
call. Yeah, what I'm
Check
saying
it.
is the major networks didn't do their same type of routine that
Okay,
they're doing right
KMOX,
now for
St. Louis,
Donald Trump.
275
And maybe
miles.
it's just because that was the 90s and we're 20 years removed from it. Maybe there's some sort of maturity when it comes to... Sooner News Radio. 96.1 FM. B&W Builders has a full service.
So this is WRVA 1140, Richmond, Virginia. I heard it.
Visit us on the web
Wow, there we
at the
go.
letters bnwbuilders.com or stop by our showroom and experience our first-class customer service in person.
Yeah, it's really hard to dial in
Hey, call our dad.
when you get to this higher range. Gotta go so slow. Makes it almost impossible, but this radio is still a fun build. It's still rocking.
That's right. Land transfer tax. You're going to be assessed a tax on buying that. That's right.
Better term. Matchup. Same as the previous concern.
A lot of stations there.
All right. Let's go to Skillet in Arkansas. Hey, Skillet. Utah. 100 years off their life. With the way he
It's one of those, you know what they are? They're a kid in a dentist chair. By the time you finish pulling that kid's tooth out, you're more worn out than the kid. That's Utah. A kid in a dentist chair that you'll finally get that tooth out. But at that point, if you're the dentist, you need a
1540?
vacation from that kid. And that kid goes out the dentist's office, tooth out, got the lollipop, he's on his way. That's Utah.
You're going to your office, you're pulling the right drawer out where you got your bottle of vodka or whatever in it.
Make mine a triple. After dealing with Bebe kid. They're Bebe's kid. That's Utah. After dealing with the dentist chair.
What a great cartoon.
Absolutely. The Utah Jazz are
So,
no joke.
1530 is Cincinnati, WCKY. 1530, 300 miles. Booming.
By Progressive Insurance.
That's it. Stops right there. So there's a lot of stations that just like I'll see if I can decipher that. I don't know if I will, but okay. What's the final thoughts? Well, there we go. The Tecsun 2P3 do-it-yourself kit. If you have a soldering iron and you're good at soldering and you love building things, build your first. If you've never built an AM radio, build your first AM radio. It's just like so good of a radio. I love the sensitivity, and I love that the fact that I adjusted those coils and I adjusted everything to make it super sensitive, and it was all me. Because it was. I had to do a lot of effort to get that tuned in, and I'm really happy with the results. So yeah, for the money, this kit is a no-brainer. Don't waste your time with the other ones. If you're looking for an AM radio in a kit, with an enclosure, it sounds decent with this big speaker. Real easy to tune. You learn a lot about radio theory, and how the waves travel, and what you're actually doing to the signal path, and how you're there's a lot of science that you learn. And I'm pretty happy to have known something more now about the AM frequency that I did not know about it before. So there you are. The 2P3 gets a solid buy for me all day long. If you're looking to build this kit, get it. You'll love it. There is available in different colors. The red one's the most prolific. There is a black one, I think, from anon.co.com or whatever online. They're on eBay too, I think. You'll see them once in a while. About $25, I think, on eBay, and 27 or so, 28 on Amazon. So yeah, it's worthy of the build. So big thumbs up if you like this video. Big thumbs up if you like the radio. Subscribe if you're new. If you love these kits, I try to build one once a month. We'll try to find some other ones that are fun. This is probably my most fun one right now. And yeah, we'll keep it rolling. Keep the good stuff coming. And yeah, hit the little bell icon so you know what's coming. And comment below what you think about the 2P3 Tecsun. I haven't done a Tecsun review in a while. And hey, it's a home-built radio. I love it.